Was a quick victim. 3 knockdowns in the first round. In February, Pinklin Thomas, with nothing left, could not fend off the first-round assault of Morrison. But observers also remembered how awesome Jerry Cooney looked in his one-round destruction of an aging Ken Norton. And just as Ray Mercer raised doubts in his last fight, being outboxed by Francesco Damiani, this past April, Morrison was having trouble against the light-hitting Soviet Yuri Vaulin, outboxed and rocked in the 3rd round. The need of more seasoning was evident, but like Mercer, Morrison has the heavy artillery in the arsenal, and against Vaulin, he cranked it up in the 5th round.
It was a very, very bad performance, but there, as what people don't understand was that there's a physical reason for that. I mean, going into that fight, we were well aware that we had a problem with our legs. It's something that we had been battling for about 1.5 years, and anyone that viewed that fight was well aware that I was basically falling all over myself and couldn't pursue the guy, couldn't back up, I couldn't move lateral, and when you're not able to do those things as a fighter, you remain a very stationary target.
Versus Vaulin, that's the first time that Morrison had to face adversity, and it was against a light-hitting heavyweight in Yuri Vaulin. It's one of the keys tonight. Mercer has been in the wars. He has learned how to survive, but Morrison is really untested against a big hitter.
Well, he's untested, and that is the big question for him. What happens to him if he's not able to get his opponent out there in those early rounds? Now, if I were in his corner, I would tell him, go out the first round, the first part of this fight, and blast Ray Mercer. Let's see if we can get him out early. He is so good in the early part of this fight.
Why is Morrison, the challenger, a slight favorite against the champion Mercer?
Well, I think Tommy is favored because more people know Tommy Morrison. He has been better publicized. He is a fighter that really has been marketed. You take a look at the Rocky film, he got a lot of publicity from that. Also in his career, every one of his fights, he has been brought along to this point systematically. Every one of his fights have been heavily publicized. He is, in this fight, a big favorite, but I think that Tommy Gunn of Rocky fame would be a bigger favorite.
The 2 words most used by both of these camps approaching this fight, respect and legitimacy. That's what they're after. They also agree that tonight's fight will be a slugfest.
Well, basically, him just coming out in the beginning and just bringing the fight to me. I mean, I think that's his only chance. I mean, he's not neither one of us are excellent boxers. I mean, we get out there and we do what you said, we slug.
There's a possibility that we may be, boxing more. It all depends on what he offers.
My whole fight game, the Olympics, everything, it's been on the inside. I'm not a boxer, and I can box if I have to, but I prefer to get in there and battle. I mean, that's instinct. I can get in there and try to box, but then once you get hit, you're going to go right back to where you started. And for me, that's battling.
I feel that there's a lot of things that Mercer does wrong, and we as a team feel that I have the ability to capitalize on just about every one of them. So we're very confident going into this fight, and obviously things are never as easy as they seem. But having faced him one time before, I basically know what to expect, because I feel that he, as a fighter, has not improved since the Olympics. He's gotten bigger. I think he's maybe gotten a little stronger, but he's still basically the same fighter. Physically, I think he's peaked.
They say he hits harder, but I think I hit harder, and I throw more punches, and I think I train harder, and I'm ready. I fought the tougher opponents. I got the advantage, and at my age, I think I have the advantage because I'm a little more relaxed now, and I realize I don't have but one chance to do these things. He's young. I don't know, people might be telling him he can bounce back if he loses. Not with me. I'm coming, I got this the only chance I have, so I'm gonna take every advantage of it.
I think I'm faster, I think I hit harder, I think I'm stronger, and I think I've got better abilities. I mean, athletically, I'm just a better athlete than he is. I don't feel that the only way that he can beat me is if he brings the ball back.
The war of words is over, and when we come back, Tommy Morrison and Ray Mercer make their entrance for the WBO crown.
He may be a Superman, but after 75 fastballs, even Nolan Ryan's muscles can ache.
After the game, it's Advil, and those aches are long gone.
Today, it isn't aspirin or Tylenol acetaminophen. It's Advil. Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
Why fight the weather? Get this Craftsman half-horsepower garage door opener with Sears' best features for only $139.99. And when the pros from Sears install it, it's an even better value. So why wait? Get to Sears today.
Duran, Hearn, Hagler, great middleweights of the 80s. Now, the first great middleweight war of the 90s on the TVKO Fight of the Month for December. Live on pay-per-view cable TV. WBA champ Mike the Body Snatcher McCallum takes on IBF champ James Lights Out Tony. It's a classic middleweight showdown destined to make history. McCallum versus Tony. Live Friday, December 13th, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. Call your cable operator now to order this pay-per-view event.
It is now time for the main event. Budweiser, the king of beers, presents USA's Tuesday night fights for the WBO Heavyweight Championship. The champion, Ray Mercer. The challenger, Tommy Morrison. The real moment has come for Tommy Morrison. He's experienced the championship glamour before, but that was scripted in the movie Rocky V. Tonight, he writes his own script.
I mean, there's a lot of parallels to what happened in the movie and what's going to happen in real life eventually. We see this as an opportunity, I guess, to have life imitate art, I guess.
Ray Mercer, the 1988 Olympic gold medal winner, the WBO champion. He owns his little piece of the heavyweight puzzle. He understands the perspective, but still relishes the position.
As far as the belt being, they consider it, the paper belt or whatever you said. I think you have to look at the fighter in that case. I think you can't put a label on a title. You have to put it on who has the title. And Damiani had it before, I had it, and it was out of the country. And I think that's why, the critics lay down on it. But, he's back here with a full-blooded American, and it's here in the U.S. And I want to make that belt everything that the rest of the belts are.
This is how they measure up on the tail of the tape. The 22-year-old Morrison, 6'2", 221 3/4. Last 5 fights he's been between 223 and 227. Mercer 10 pounds heavier than his fight against Damiani. At the age of 30, 6'1 1/2", 225, both with 77-inch reaches. The rules governed by the WBO. 3 knockdown rule in effect. Standing 8 count is not in effect. You cannot be saved by the bell, and scoring on a 10-point must system. And Sean, how do you see these two on the blackboard?
Well, the challenger, Tommy Morrison, set control early. Try to take him out in the first few seconds of the fight. Ray starts slow. Try to end it in the opening. If not, back off, trying just to win 1 round at a time. Use a sporadic attack. Pay close attention to basics, Tommy. You're in there with a good puncher. Do that and let the world know that Tommy Morrison belongs in boxing. Ray Mercer is the WBO heavyweight champion. Careful early. Tommy starts very fast. He has a lot to prove, and he'll try to do that in a quick fashion. But Morrison fades in the middle rounds. He's never been past 6, so take Tommy to Star Trek land, a place where that man has not gone before.
Ladies and gentlemen, Top Rank Incorporated and the undisputed, undefeated king of beer, Budweiser, present championship boxing for your entertainment. This bout is approved by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board. The scoring for this bout will be done on a 10-point must system, and the 3 judges are Gene Williams, Rick Bays, and Stuart Winston. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, the referee, working for the 75th time in a world title bout, Tony Perez. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Atlantic City's Convention Hall, by way of Donald J. Trump and the Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, New Jersey, let's get ready to rumble! 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO World Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with stars and stripes trim. His weight, 221 3/4 pounds. He comes from Kansas City. His professional record, undefeated, 28-0, 24 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenger, Tommy the Duke Morrison. And across the ring in the red corner, wearing the white trunks with red, gold, and black trim, weighing an even 225 pounds. Originally from Jacksonville, Florida, he now fights for the Triple Threat Gym in Newark, New Jersey. This 1988 Olympic gold medal champion is now undefeated as a professional with a record of 17-0, 12 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, the WBO World Heavyweight Champion, Merciless Ray Mercer.
Morrison, you already got your instructions in the dressing room, all right? Give me a good, clean fight, and I will not bother neither one of you. 2 things you must remember. Obey my commands, and most important, protect yourself at all times. Shake hands, and good luck to the both of you.
Biggest fight in the career of each of these fighters. Tommy Morrison, the challenger, in the corner to the left. Sean, what's going through his mind right now?
Right now, he's trying to run through his fight plan. You're waiting for this first bell to ring. Get it underway. This is the longest time between the 2 fights.
And how about Ray Mercer?
Ray Mercer defending his title. He is also trying to run through his fight plan and try to establish control early for both of these heavyweights.
These 2 fighters have combined for 22 first-round knockouts. 15 by Morrison,
and there's
7 by Mercer. And this is a very small ring.
18 foot 6 inches inside the ropes. The ring is a puncher's mat. Very thick padding. You can dig your toes into there and push. Thrust forward with your shots.
Here are 2 sluggers looking for an opening. Neither a defensive whiz, so you know there will be openings. And it is Morrison trying to work inside. Mercer, who is 10 pounds heavier than he was against Damiani, and that fight was 9 months ago. So if you start to look for advantages and disadvantages on each side, Mercer has been less active than Morrison in the ring. Both fighters have been coming off series of injuries. It was the calf muscle that hurt Morrison. He said he couldn't move. He was stepping over himself against Vaulin when he was outboxed. And Mercer with many injuries, the last one an ankle injury that originally postponed a fight between he and Riddick Bowe, which came after the postponement of this initial fight back in August when Morrison was cut in sparring over the eye.
And they both say that for this fight, they're at 100%. You know, and I have fought in the past with injuries. When you go into a ring without an injury, it's an unusual feeling. A little bit pushing behind the head from Mercer. Just trying to take Morrison out of it. Get the referee separated.
Big shots by Morrison, who wants to do it early. He has never been beyond 6, and he doesn't want to go to the later rounds. Morrison coming on, and Mercer could be in trouble in the first round. Now Mercer coming back.
Now Morrison cannot start reading the headlines. He wants to have a good showing in this fight. He wants to try to knock Mercer out early, but don't waste your punches. You've got to pinpoint those shots. for Mercer, sometimes when you're getting pummeled like he is, the best thing to do is just get with it, get busy.
And in the back of the mind of Ray Mercer, part of his strategy, he would love to see Morrison punch himself out early.
Very much so. A very changed fighter now that he is the champion, too. We've seen an example of how a championship can change a fighter. You bring a confidence of a champ into the ring with you. The confidence of that title belt.
Ray Mercer won the gold medal at Seoul at the age of 27, the oldest member of the '88 Olympic squad. He says he certainly has more to lose in this head-to-head with Morrison at the age now of 30. Closing 10 seconds. Good exchanges here in the first 3 minutes of the scheduled 12-rounder.
Here's a knockout offer you don't want to miss. Ring Lord's 1991 edition boxing cards. These great collectibles are now even greater. In selected sets, you can find a special signet card entitling you to one of a limited number of cards personally autographed by the fighter himself, including Evander the Real Deal Holyfield, a Ring Lord's exclusive, an instant collector's item that could be worth its weight in gold. For your Ring Lord's boxing cards, call now. 1-800-964-RING. Each factory sealed set is $19.95. Call now or stop in wherever trading cards are sold.
Confessions, fantasies, and private dreams. Now you can try the phone lines everyone's talking about absolutely free. Hear women's confessions and learn the private secrets women hide. Dial 1-900-230-FREE and try it free. Discover fantasies of romance and love, powerful emotions, personal hopes. Dial 1-900-386-FREE. Try it free. Take a peek inside their private dreams and feel the yearnings that make their hearts beat faster. Dial 1-900-847-FREE and try it free. They're America's hottest confession lines. You've seen them in newspapers, magazines, and on TV. And now you can try all three for free. Call 1-900-230-FREE for women's confessions. Call 1-900-386-FREE for fantasies. Call 1-900-847-FREE for private dreams. Write them down. Try them now. Try them all. Try them free. Women's confessions, fantasies, private dreams. America's hottest $15 confession lines with the first minute free. Call now. Adults only.
Former heavyweight champion of the world, Larry Holmes, continues to pound his way down the comeback trail. Now he'll face veteran Jamie Howe. Then the man that nobody's been able to stop, undefeated boxing sensation Obakar, storms the ring. Budweiser presents USA Tuesday Night Fights, Tuesday at 9.
Good opening round from Tommy the Duke Morrison. Look at this, the best shot of the night from him. Still early, the good right uppercut followed by the left hook. Here is another shot of that punch. A great combination because the one shot, the uppercut, brings your opponent's head up. The left hook tries to knock it off. There it is. Up, no defense when your head's up like that. And the left hook knocks it off. There's the corner of Tommy Duke Morrison.
And it is certainly a team in the corner. Second round action. Good first round for Tommy Morrison. Both fighters hearing it from their corners. You heard in the interviews of Tommy Morrison referring to everything he does as we. It is certainly teamwork as far as Morrison's concerned, and he brought out the howitzers, although missing against Mercer. If there has been any criticism of Mercer, although he denies it, has been his training habits. He says he's been training hard for this fight.
And the Duke must be very careful not to waste those shots at the air. It takes more out of a fighter to swing and miss than to swing and land. And he referred to himself as we in the interviews, but he is all alone out there in that ring.
The last defeat suffered by Tommy Morrison was back in 1988, early in the Olympic trials against Ray Mercer. Morrison is perfect as a pro, 28-0 with 24 knockouts. And a lot of those walkover fights. And he knows this is his first test in his professional career.
Big left hook. His favorite punch is that left. Tommy Morrison.
The challenger is Morrison, and he looks very confident at this point, and it's the champion Mercer who's a little leery. He is finding that it's not the same 19-year-old former high school football player fighting his first heavyweight fight. That's when they met in the amateurs.
And strong is Morrison. Look at he's lowered his trunk, his center of gravity, and he's able to manhandle Ray Mercer here in the second round. Still early yet. These fights are scheduled for 12.
And remember, with these two fighters, either can fall behind and still deliver the home run ball. This is the story of power. Mercer did it in his last fight against Damiani, as he was outboxed completely in that fight, and in the 9th round knocked out Damiani. That had knockout written all over it, but a good head move by Mercer to elude the big right hand.
And that's the way he got this title. That is incidentally his only knockout after 5. Could become a factor.
Mercer's, or rather Morrison, great respect for Mercer. Says he knows he is the heart of the lion. And a great chin. And there's the uppercut testing the chin. But Morrison feels that Mercer is a one-dimensional fighter and hasn't really improved much from his days as an Olympian. But he says you don't knock Mercer out with 1 or 2 shots. You have to make him quit. And so far, it has been Morrison big in the first 2 rounds.
And isn't it true that this auto part did, in fact, come from the defendant's car?
Objection. Prosecution is leading the witness.
Overruled. You may answer the question.
This part most definitely came from that car.
And how can you be sure?
I work for Napa Auto Parts. It's my job to be sure.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Napa people are parts experts, so they can answer any question, whatever the case may be.
The temperature never drops below Xerex. That's very important to remember at a time like this, when it's very cold and you've got to get going. Ah, you did remember Xerex Antifreeze. The temperature never drops below Xerex.
They needed a pure fighting machine. They got their worst nightmare.
I'm coming to get you.
Sylvester Stallone. Rambo 2 on USA. Thursday night at 9, 8 Central.
Join us ringside at the Convention Center on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, New Jersey. WBO Heavyweight Championship, Tommy Morrison in the black trunks, Ray Mercer in the white. And it is Morrison feeling more and more confident. 2 big rounds for Morrison. Their fights don't go too long, and we are in the 3rd. Morrison with 24 knockouts in his 28 victories. Mercer's knocked out 12 in his perfect 17-0 record.
Good left hook again by Morrison. A quick flash left hook. Now the one from Mercer to put the punches together and come up the middle like Morrison did right there.
And that uppercut may have split the lip. Yes, it did. The lower lip of Ray Mercer.
That's the same problem he had in the Damiani fight. The lower lip was cut. Again, right on it.
3rd round, Morrison teeing off on Mercer. Mercer a little peekaboo 1 minute into the 3rd round. One of the questions was what would happen if Morrison got in trouble. He's really never had to survive a war. And Mercer has. Well, so far it's Mercer who looks like he will have to survive. Morrison is essentially unscathed at the moment.
Well, Mercer is surviving early, and look at him wisely tying up inside. Let the referee break it. It'll buy you some time. What he wants to do is just get you fight into those later rounds. But he has taken a beat doing that.
Paying the price.
Not afraid to get hit, though. He's a man that'll take 2 punches in order to land one of his own. He knows he's got some power.
Mercer has gone 12 on a couple occasions. Morrison has never been beyond 6. He's only gone past the 2nd round on 7 occasions in 28 fights. And here he is in round number 3 tonight.
Well, his idol's Rocky Marciano, and he is fighting like The Rock tonight. Big combinations, a busy pace.
Morrison stalking. If he had any butterflies, they're gone by now. He has been the aggressor in this fight. But he knows he cannot get careless against Mercer. For the WBO heavyweight championship, Morrison in the other divisions ranks between 8 and 12. In the WBA, BC, and the IBF. Now Mercer, as a champion, is not ranked in the other divisions. Where would you put him?
Well, they are all rival organizations, but I'd put him about the same place that Tommy is, from 8 to 12.
And there's a big right by Mercer to end the third round.
A company can learn a lot in 125 years. Valvoline has. You learn in the lab, you learn on the road, you learn on the racetrack. As you learn, you make your product better. And better, and better. Today's Valvoline will keep your engine cleaner than ever before. And cleaner means more protection against engine wear. 125 years of quality. That's why people who know use Valvoline.
At GMC Truck, our only business is trucks. That has been for over 80 years. A dedication to truck strengths and values to keep in mind. Because when you need to haul something, tow something, carry precious cargo, find new trails, or simply ride high and proud, there's nothing quite as strong as a truck. GMC Truck, the strength of experience.
Larry Holmes continues his battle to reclaim the crown when he squares off with veteran Jamie Howe. Budweiser presents USA Tuesday Night Fights, Tuesday at 9.
So far for Tommy Morrison, it looks like this has been scripted by his choreographer in Rocky V. Mercer, though, very confident, sitting in his corner discussing things with trainer Hank Johnson.
No punching. Well, he thinks that Tommy is going to punch himself out, but he's having to pay a price for it. His bottom lip is sliced wide open. They don't want for Ray to get hit as much. They want him to move a little bit more so he doesn't have to take so many shots.
And now Mercer puts a couple of rights together. You remember, he left Morrison with a right hand as a gift to end the third round. Crowd getting into this one. Great matchup. Two sluggers. We're trying to find more and more about them, see which one proceeds up the ladder in the heavyweight division. It is for the WBO title. But these two fighters have the proper perspective. They know the winner goes on and gets in line for some possible major paydays. And a chance to crack the upper echelon of the heavyweight world. And there Morrison runs into the left, and now Mercer coming on in round number 4.
And for good professionals, the fight starts after 3. A good left uppercut to buckle the knees of Morrison. This is scheduled for 12. So for Mercer, he's just trying to get everything going in those first 3 rounds. Tommy Morrison is hurt right now. Tommy Morrison has his mouth wide open. Easier to get your jaw broke when your mouth is open like that. Showing signs of fatigue also. With that mouth open, your tongue is hanging out.
The Mercer corner telling him be first. And Mercer has been here in the 4th round. Mercer wants to take Morrison into uncharted waters.
And
that means
why.
After the 6th round.
Mercer tying up, just trying to get to those later rounds. But they warned him about getting too far behind in this fight. Hank Johnson said, you can't take all this punishment.
Ray Mercer may have been 3 rounds behind coming into this 4th. But he is turning the fight in his direction here in round 4.
Ray described himself as an adaptable fighter. He said that if he needed to, he could box, and that's what he's done here. Right now, he's boxing around Tommy Morrison and landing shots.
Pivotal round number 4 as Mercer acknowledges his fans here in Atlantic City. He resides in Newark, New Jersey, and feels a little better about this evening as he sits in between rounds, and Morrison is now hearing it from his team.
One punch shots. We're going to the head. We got to go low. Use the body. It means you have to change your levels. Relax, recover. Keep it flow. You got to change your levels. You got to follow up with your punches. Right? What you're trying to do is you're letting him throw
change
first,
your levels,
and then you're covering what he's in too
says
tight.
Tom Burgess, former amateur coach.
Spit it out. Spit it out.
Look into the corner of Ray Mercer. Fourth round action. Mercer turned it around that round with heavy shots like this. Good punches from him. In that round, Tommy Morrison started lunging. Mercer made him pay for it.
Mercer says he's packed more experience into his 17 pro fights than Morrison has in his 27. Mercer pounding away. Morrison may be going. Morrison is gone. Showing no mercy, gave away the first 3 rounds and came back.
He described himself as a warrior, a soldier inside the ring, and that's the way he fought tonight. He got pummeled by this man, Tommy Morrison, and was able to survive and come back.
Tommy Morrison runs out of gas in the 5th round. And the door swings open for Ray Mercer. The heavyweight world is bearing gifts and waiting with open arms. He moves up the ladder. He said at the age of 30 he could not lose this one. But Morrison, still at the tender age of 22, slips down the mountain but can work himself up if he chooses to. Ray Mercer, his first defense of the WBO heavyweight crown, and does it with a dramatic 5th round knockout over Tommy Morrison. Mercer takes the blows in the 3rd, gets Morrison in a position. Perhaps he had punched himself out. There were certainly glaring openings for Morrison's defense in the 4th and then here in the 5th round. It was that one shot at the end of the 3rd for Mercer. Perhaps that told the story. He knew Morrison was ready, and he jumped on him in the 4th and then in the 5th.
Because of the inexperience, Morrison went out, and his hands started coming down in this 4th and 5th round. Down come the hands, tying up more, showing the effects. His mouth is wide open, a tired fighter, and all it was easy pickings for Ray Mercer. Here he is just connecting with shots, unanswered punches, out on his feet and hurt is Tommy the Duke Morrison. A lot of shots from merciless Ray Mercer. Referee let that one go a little bit too long, too many punches. Here it is again. The heavy shots from Mercer. The combinations. Morrison is trying to tie up, but just can't do it. Tony Perez needs to step in, and that's all. That's enough.
Tony Perez late in breaking this one up, and that one, ironically, looked like a choreographed Rocky movie. Only problem for Morrison, this one was for real. We'll be back with a champion, Ray Mercer, in just a moment. The convention center is buzzing.
Our 6-inch meatball sub for $1.69 is 4 meatballs and Italian sauce. I've never been to Italy, but I know some people have. We bake bread here every day. I come in real early. Also, there's cheese, onions, everything. Just point and it's yours. This has hot peppers because it's mine. I like things spicy.
For 25 years, Subway has quietly made some of the best sandwiches anywhere, like the 6-inch meatball sub. Only $1.69, only at Subway.
A vicious psychopath holds a city at knife point and pushes one cop to the edge.
I want this guy.
But his only clue is in her mind's eye.
I hate you! I saw a rose. The lady is psychic, but is it worth risking her life to prove it? Elizabeth!
Bruce Boxleitner,
Murderous Vision.
A USA Encore presentation. Tomorrow night at 9, 8 Central.
A stunning conclusion to the WBO Heavyweight Championship, and the champion remains on top. Ray Mercer with a 5th-round knockout over Tommy Morrison. And Ray, did you think you gave up the first 3 rounds to get to the position to take Morrison out?
I see how strong he was. He was way strong on the inside. And, you know, working with Bert, we worked on the inside, but mostly I was trying to work on a little boxing just in case he was too strong on the inside. So everything I swear to you went according to game plan. I took a little punishment, but what fight don't I?
Even the game plan with the cut in your mouth and the bridge of your nose?
Know, I figure I don't have to go to the hospital tonight, so I'm happy.
Were you ever in danger?
No, I felt, he threw a couple of good body shots and uppercuts, knocked me off balance. You know, sometimes you think you're hurt, but you're really not. So I just grabbed him and did what any other smart boxer would do.
You told me that you were going to try to take him into the later rounds. Why?
Because just for that reason, he was slowing down a little bit. When I started moving, you see he slowed down. He was strong on the inside only. He couldn't, from the outside, he was leaping, throwing only one punch. He may have got one punch in and came back with another, but he wasn't able to get all the punches that he was throwing when I was laying on the inside with him.
Ray, when did you see the opening? When did you know you would have him?
Because what I started doing is moving and countering, because he started leaping. And he left himself open, so I came over with the hardest right hand I could and caught him. And caught him with a left hook behind that, and was right hand city from then on.
All right, we're going to take a look at the flurry that ended the fight. You had a big right hand to end the 3rd round. That may have turned it, but this is the conclusion of the fight. Tell us what was happening.
Right there, I was just trying to get in on him because he was covering up, and he was getting tired, and that's the opening right there over the top. And I hit him, and he tried to grab me and lean, and right there I knew I had him. So I just come with all right hands. I just knew I had him with that right there.
Ray, when he started lunging, did you try to make him run into your fists?
Yeah. What I tried to do is like counter, but coming in at the same time. And it worked. Everything went perfect. I thought the referee let it go a little too far. Yeah. The guy could have been killed right there.
All right, when you came into this fight, Ray Mercer, the words you were talking about, respect, legitimacy, where does this fight leave you?
As far as respect, like I told you before, I really don't care about respect. I'm going to keep winning the fights and take it as far as I can. Once I get on top, undisputed heavyweight champion, I think I'll get the respect I deserve, especially from the boxing.
Ray Mercer makes it to 18-0. No question, his most impressive victory to date, handing Tommy Morrison the first loss in his career. Tonight's Power Punch is being brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers, with that distinctively clean, crisp, cold taste. Nothing beats a Bud. No suspense over the Power Punch tonight, actually. The Power Punches as Ray Mercer unloading on Tommy Morrison. In the 5th round, he had Morrison out on his feet. Tony Perez late in stepping in, and Mercer went to town. Morrison already out, and continuing to unload is Ray Mercer, who retained his WBO Heavyweight Championship. And that is the Power Punch, or the Power Punches of the night.